Good morning. Welcome into the Lifeline Morning Show. I'm Steven. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I love getting your day started off on the right foot. And to help with that, I use an inspiring quote. Today's comes from a guy that you probably read about in your history book, Winston Churchill. He said, "If we open a quarrel between past and present, we shall find that we have lost the future." Wow, that one's deep, isn't it? How many times have you been paralyzed by your past? You thought back on your past mistakes and it's like, whoa, I've messed up too bad to move forward. Yeah, I've been there before too. But guess what? That's a lie. Don't let yourself stay in that space. Why? Because the Bible is chock full of scriptures to let you know that, hey, it's okay. Like Isaiah 43:18-19. Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the desert and streams in the wasteland. I love that. God is always up to something new, and He has a bright future for us. A couple other scriptures that pertain to our future that I want to pass along and remind you of today. All right, Philippians 1:6. He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. And Romans 15:13. Now may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing that you may abound in hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. What is hope? That is looking forward to a brighter future because Christ has promised it to you and to me. So remember today that your future is way better than your past, and you can let that past go. Let it fall off of you like shackles off of a prisoner so you can free yourself and move forward. Hey, you can do this. I believe in you, and God's got your back. Now your word of life. Today it comes to you from Romans chapter 8, verse 11, in the New Living Translation of the Bible. The Spirit of God, who raised Jesus from the dead, lives in you. And just as God raised Christ Jesus from the dead, He will give life to your mortal bodies by this same Spirit living within you. What a promise right there. Wow, that's worth sharing with somebody. So why don't you do that? We've got it ready for you across all of our socials, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok, and it's always at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. Speaking of our website, if you go there, you can click that On Now button to listen to us from wherever you happen to be, and it's just below that word of life. And guess who clicked that this morning? Our friend Melissa, all the way over in Woodville, Texas. Thank you for listening this morning. Hope you're having a great one so far. And we got some friends over in Helsinki, Finland hanging out as well. And whether you're listening on the stream or on the radio, just want to make sure you understand we're thankful for you. You're the reason why we're here. So from around 7:30 a.m. to 2:35 p.m., our kids have this prior commitment. They have an obligation to be at school, right? So their time is taken and they're learning so much. And these teachers are teaching academics. They're also teaching some of those life skills. Some social skills are being learned within those four walls of that school. And you know what? Those lessons sometimes make it outside of the schoolhouse. Coupled with what they're learning at home and at church, these kids can be real inspirations. I want to tell you about a couple of them and what they were up to this past Wednesday. See, two Albertville Elementary School students took their love of the theater to the streets on Wednesday afternoon. Fourth grader Holden Smith and second grader Hardy Jane Smith made a homemade lemonade stand in downtown Albertville, and all the proceeds are going to the Lighthouse Theater Company. How cool is that? Wow. You know, they've been part of the theater for a while. Holden has been performing there since he was just 6 years old. He says, I like theater and performing. His sister, Hardy Jane, also a part of that company. I like to sing and act, she says. I've been a part of it since I was little. That's awesome. Coming from a second grader since I was little. Oh, you should see this picture. Oh my goodness. They're standing behind this table and they are ready with the lemonade. But lemonade, they're still learning how to spell. Lemonade is Limunade, lemonade, 50 cents a cup. And guess what? They raised close to $100 toward the end of the evening, and that is a win. Every little bit helps. And their mom, Anna, says that these kids came up with this idea all on their own. They've been begging all summer to do a lemonade stand, and said that they wanted the proceeds to go to Lighthouse Theater Company in Albertville. We love the Lighthouse Theater. They're able to reach all kids, not just in Albertville, but across Marshall County. It's a passion of my kids, and they've both been a part of it for a long time. How cool is that? Wow. Well, way to go, you two. Holden and Hardy Jane, I think y'all are doing an amazing job. And hey, you know what? Next time you see them out and about, maybe you need to swing by and say hi to these two inspirations. And who knows, you might be able to help the Lighthouse Theater keep doing what they do. I just wanted to throw it out there and tell you about a couple locals that are making a big difference in their community.
Percy has taught me that reptiles do have emotions. He just brings so much joy in my life.
So what kind of reptile is Percy? Well, let's just say that he's small and he has a favorite binky. That's what we could call it. Blanky? I don't know. Stick around. We'll talk about it next. So my little girl, Grace, she's 8.5 and she absolutely loves going to every pet store she can possibly go to. Why? Because she loves animals. And we recently stumbled across this guy on TikTok. His name is Creepy Dave. It's the Creepy Dave Animal Show. And he's got a very special favorite animal. Every time he has a video come out. And it changes from time to time. The one most recent that we really got stuck on are ferrets. That's what he calls a ferret. Oh my goodness. If you've not checked this guy out, you need to check him out on TikTok. Zefrank, Zefrank is how you find him. But he's got the Creepy Dave Animal Show. And it is so funny. We quote this thing all the time. Anyway, last time we went to the pet store here in Guntersville, we went back to the ferrets, and they've got 2 females back there. And Grace has been wanting to go back because she got to hold them once before. And this last time we went, the employee was so nice. We asked if we could hold one, and he just opened it up, said, "Here you go." And so we were able to get both of the ferrets and pet them and just, have a good time with them. There's just something about animals that lights people up. And maybe you have a pet. Maybe you've got a dog or a cat, or maybe you've got a gerbil or a chinchilla, or maybe you've got a ball python. Anyway, give me the heebie-jeebies. Or maybe you have this little creature that has a beard, and he's like a lizard-looking thing, and he bobs his head up and down, and he loves to just lounge around all the time. Not quite an iguana. I'm talking about a bearded dragon. That's exactly what kind of animal Percy is. And you see, Percy, he has a favorite thing. Now, it's not a particular food. No, it's not a particular person, though he does love his owner, of course. There is one object that grabs all of his affection, and it is a particular, well, here, take a listen.
It all started when he would begin bobbing at my feet. It's a sign of dominance. Percy would run full speed and he would stop right before my feet. And then one day I was like, okay, is it my foot or is it my sock? And so I put my sock on the ground and he jumped on it. And so it's become a regular thing now. It's like the sock I just love. He loves to spend a lot of time with it. And I think it's hilarious.
That's it. It's a sock. It's like his little blankie. He's got to have it all the time. Does he get agitated whenever that sock gets put into the laundry? You better believe he does, and he can't wait for it to come back out because he's going to grab it and go cuddle with it again. It's what he's got to have. It's his favorite thing in the world. I know your pet probably has a favorite thing too, right? Yeah, those pets bring so much joy to our life. And Percy's doing that for his owner too. Pretty cool stuff there. All right. Hey, whoa. It's like 7 o'clock. It's time to do something. Say it with me in 3, 2, 1. Give me the horn. That's right. And then what do you got to do? You got to crank the engine because I get to say, hey, everybody, it's time to play the Car Line competition. It's your chance to win not 1, not 2, but 3 gift cards. That's right. 1 to Wendy's for a Frosty. Oh, did you notice the Wendy's in Arab just opened up? Place is awesome. I've already been there and it's delicious. And the customer service is great. I'm telling you, they really redid that old Taco Bell very well. And it's doing a good job. It's always packed out too. That drive-through line is forever long whenever you go by there. Plus we got a gift card to Albertville Home Bakery for a couple cookies or a couple cupcakes, your choice. And then we've got 1 to the Caring Heart Thrift Store in Arab. So stop talking, Steven. Get to the game. Okay, here we go. Here's your first question. You got to answer it correctly and first to win 3 gift cards. All right. Where in Britain are the crown jewels kept for safekeeping? Are they kept in Buckingham Palace? In B, Wembley Stadium? In C, the Bank of England? Or in D, the Tower of London? Be the first caller at 256-505-0885 with the correct answer, and you could win all 3 gift cards. Again, it's 256-505-0885. The question one more time. Where in Britain are the crown jewels kept for safekeeping? Is it A, Buckingham Palace, B, Wembley Stadium, C, the Bank of England, or D, the Tower of London? There is my caller. I'm going to grab that call. Stay on the phone line with me while I start this next song. I'm going to get your answer. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's your name?
Adele.
Hey, Adela. What you doing today, girl?
Going to school.
Going to school? What are you doing that for?
It's my first day of school.
Oh, it's your first day of school. Are you looking forward to seeing your friends?
Yes, sir.
All right, awesome. All right, so here we go. I got a question for you. You could win 3 gift cards if you get this right. Where in Britain are the crown jewels kept for safekeeping? Is it A, Buckingham Palace, B, Wembley Stadium, C, the Bank of England, or D, the Tower of London?
Tower of London.
Tower of London is correct. Congratulations, Adela. Woohoo! You just won 3 gift cards. What do you think about that?
I'm excited.
I'd be excited too. All right, awesome. So here's how it works. We're giving you 3 gift cards. We want you to keep 1 and give the other 2 away to 2 very special people. Who are those 2 people?
My friend Macy.
Macy. All right, what do you love about Macy?
We've been friends for a long time.
Oh, very cool. And who's that other person?
My brother.
Your brother. Oh, tell everybody his name.
Joshua.
Now, Joshua just took a trip, didn't he? He just got back home too. Where did he go?
Spain.
Spain. Was it kind of weird having him gone for a while?
Yes.
Are you glad he's home?
Yes.
I think he's glad he's home too, because he's getting one of your gift cards. That is awesome. Such a big heart you have, Adela. Thank you so much for calling me this morning. I hope that you have an amazing first day of school. And thanks so much for calling me this morning.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye.
For those of you who don't know Joshua and Adela, this brother and sister, Joshua just went to Spain. He's an aspiring soccer player, and he's looking at playing at the next level. That's why he was over in Spain, and really looking forward to what God has in store for Joshua. This kid, I'm telling you, he's an inspiration, and he's so athletic, and his family's so supportive, and I just wanted to tell you a little more about him. But Adela, congratulations on winning the gift cards. It's awesome. Hey, I've got another chance for somebody to win some gift cards just like Adela won. So here we go. Here's your question. All right. Which sea creature has toxic blood? Is it A, salmon, B, a crab, C, a whale, or D, an eel? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. I understand you might have to use Google, and that is perfectly fine. Use everything to at your disposal for your advantage, okay? So the question one more time. Which sea creature has toxic blood? Is it salmon, B, a crab, C, a whale, or D, an eel? The number to call, 256-505-0885. Waiting on your call right now. Who knows? You could win these gift cards. I got to answer here to that last question. I wanted to share it with you. Pretty cool answer. Here, take a listen. 88.5 JFM. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's your name?
JC.
All right, JC. Now, have you been back at school for a little while?
2 days.
2 days. You don't sound very enthusiastic this morning. Are you just not feeling it's like, I don't want to do this. I just want to stay at home. I want summer break to keep going.
Yeah.
Do you have some friends you're looking forward to seeing, though?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Hey, tell everybody what grade you're in now.
I'm in 6th.
6th grade. All right. Well, I know you're probably all about some biology, maybe some science, those critters. Do you like animals?
Yes.
Okay. So with this animal, you might not like it all that well, but we'll find out if you know which one has toxic blood. Is it A, salmon, B, a crab, C, a whale, or D, an eel?
D and L.
That's exactly right. Congratulations. It sounded like that was kind of a guess, was it?
Well, like, I thought that was it.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I don't know.
Well, that gut instinct of yours just won you 3 gift cards. What do you think about that?
That's amazing.
Yeah, I think so too. Maybe it makes going to school a little easier, huh?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. So the way this works, we want you to keep one of these gift cards, whichever one you want, and we want you to give the other 2 away to 2 very special people. Can you tell me about those 2 very special people?
I guess it would be my 2 neighbors, Maddie and Marley. They've been my best friends for like 7 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
That's cool. What do y'all like to do?
We like to go on bike rides a lot.
Really? That's a lot of fun. I used to love doing that when I was your age too. So very cool. Need some good bike buddies. How far do you get to go on those bikes?
We go downtown, just ride around.
That sounds like a blast. Well, very good. Thank you for sharing some love with your friends here on the radio. And I just got to make sure that I've got your address here and I can get these sent your way. I got it. I'm going to go ahead and jot this down and I'll get these sent your way, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Have a wonderful day at school.
You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
How cool was that? Just like that, 2 winners this morning. I got Adela first and then JC Browning that time. And, you know, this question right here, it deals with eels. And I was thinking, do I know of any popular or celebrity eels? And yes, actually, do you remember Flotsam and Jetsam from The Little Mermaid? They were moray eels. Yeah, they were Ursula's little, yeah, I don't know what to call them, but they were awful. They were like the villains with her. Anyway, have you seen the new Little Mermaid, by the way? I loved the new bird that they brought in. Oh, my goodness. And my favorite song from the new movie is The Scuttlebutt. If you have not heard that yet, you have got to check it out. The Scuttlebutt. For all you teachers sliding in on 2 wheels this morning, trying to get back into the swing of things this school year, wow, this is just for you.
Excuse me, but how am I about to go from spending 2 months doing whatever I wanted to spending 7 hours a day with children? How is that gonna happen?
I know, right? It's like, really? I gotta do this? I was enjoying my break. Why couldn't it have lasted longer? I got you, but hey, you'll get this. And I know you're probably super tired already from the little bit of school that you've had, but you'll be able to get back into the swing of things. It'll get better. It'll get easier. I promise. Okay? All right. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. I don't usually do this, but I wanted to hop on real quick and tell you my favorite part of that whole song from For King and Country. It's What Are We Waiting For, right? But my favorite part comes right after the bridge, as the bridge is ready to go back into the chorus. And I wanted just to point it out to you because I think it's genius what they did there. So if you can hear the synthesizer and the drums, they kind of drop. Here, just take a listen. You'll hear it.
Why are we wasting all the time like someone's wasting all this time? What are we praying?
Did you hear that drop? Oh, every time I hear it, it's like I get goosebumps. I love that part of the song. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I know you've got favorite parts of the songs that you hear here on the radio as well. And I just want to let you know that's one of mine. So, hey, what's yours? I would love to hear. Call me up, 256-505-0885. What's your favorite part of your favorite song and why does it resonate with you? 256-505-0885 is a number to call. Right now, we've got listeners, down in Alexander City, Alabama, also over in Arab, right here in Gunnersville. I think that's Savannah Mitchell hanging out with us. Owensboro, Kentucky, we've got Nikki listening with us right there. How about over in Wichita? Well, actually, let me be more precise. Reno County, Kansas, and we've got Melissa hanging out with us down in Woodville, Texas, and some more friends over in Helsinki, Finland. It just always amazes me that people can listen to this little radio station from North Alabama, from across the world. It's nuts, isn't it? But it's so cool that we get to share some really good news with a lot of people. And you're a part of that story of almost 28 years of bringing that good news to the world. Thank you for being here. Got some ice cream to give away coming up here at the top of the hour. Are you going to win? It's a $10 voucher to Jaden's ice cream truck. Stick around. Kelly has me all up in my feels this morning because of what she wrote, and I bet it's going to have the same effect on you. Here, take a listen. This is what she said. My mom still waves goodbye to me. She stands out on her driveway and waves, sometimes even blows me a kiss. She still makes me meals when I come to visit. All my favorite meals are made by her. There's just something about the way she cooks. She still buys me random things she sees at the store and she thinks I'll like. She's usually right. She still lets me call her when I'm bored and just need someone to talk to. She still gives me a hug that will break down any wall I have and make me weep when I'm not okay. Sometimes when I find myself grieving how quickly my kids are growing up, I just think of my mom and how much I love her and how precious she is to me. And I remember, a mom heart doesn't change just because her kids are adults. And no one can ever take that spot in a child's heart, grown or not. As I've gotten older, my mom still does the same motherly things she's always done, now for me and my babies. She still stands outside, rain or shine, and waves goodbye as we leave. Oh, how sweet is that? Mom, that baby of yours is always going to be your baby. And that's a relationship that, wow, it stands the test of time. Sure, we might get mad at each other, we might have a falling out, but then we finally come back together and all the stuff is taken care of and we're family. So if your mom is still around, maybe today is the day you need to reach out and give her a little extra love. Tell her how much you appreciate her. Because it's one of those things, you never quite know how long you're going to have her. So enjoy her today. Let her know how much she's loved. Now somebody's winning some ice cream coming up next. Is it going to be you? We'll find out. You hear that song coming down the road and you are perked up. You're finding some change, some cash. You're running outside to the ice cream truck because you want some of that delicious goodness. And you know what? Ice cream is tied to so many good memories, and that's what I want to dig into this morning. That's what's going to win you some ice cream. Possibly, I want the first person to call me up and tell me a good memory associated with ice cream. Just call me up, tell me 256-505-0885, and you're going to win a $10 voucher to Jaden's ice cream truck. Oh, it's a sweet treat, and you get to share a little bit of a memory, something that's brought you a lot of joy. And the number again is 256-505-0885. Now, I'm gonna watch this phone to see if it lights up, but while I'm watching, I'm gonna tell you about mine. Okay, so my favorite ice cream memory comes from when I was a kid. So during the summer, our cousins would come up from Florida. And so there's a house full of us, right? And my Mimi, well, she always kept some vanilla ice cream in the freezer. But there was another freezer out in the shed. And she'd send us out there from time to time to get little bits and pieces, different things for recipes out of that freezer. And just so happens that's where she kept those little square plastic containers of frozen strawberries. And it was like strawberries and they were kind of mashed up with sugar in them. And they were the perfect topping for your ice cream. And that is what I remember most. Vanilla ice cream with that strawberry topping on top and just hanging out with my cousins. I was probably 7, 8 years old, and that memory will last a lifetime. It'll stick with me. So what's yours? 256-505-0885. I got my caller. Stay on the phone line with me while I start this next song, and we'll get your memory. Here's Toby Mac and Zach Williams with Cornerstone. Don't go anywhere. You have got to hear this call for the Jaden's ice cream voucher. It was so good and it's so creative. It is, you just got to hear it for yourself. So stick around. We'll get into it right after this song. And remember, if you have to step away from your radio, tune us in 885jfm.com. Click that on now button, press play, because you need to hear this call. Oh, wow. Here's Chris Renzema and Ellie Holcomb with Just As Good right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Thanks for hanging out with me. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good.
I'm glad to hear it. What's your name?
My name is Sherry.
All right, Sherry. So I'm giving away some ice cream to Jaden's ice cream truck today. And really, what's going to get you this is just sharing a memory with me that's tied to ice cream. Just a good memory.
Well, my dad was in the Air Force, and we were living on an Air Force base. Now, there was a colonel that collected antique cars, and one of them was a hearse. And he didn't have any children of his own, but he would invite us in. He had a player piano, always had a stick of bubble gum for us. But one day, on a hot, sunny day, he piled about 12 or 13 of us in the hearse and drove us off base to the ice cream store.
What a creative way to ride up to the ice cream shop. Oh, and so tell me, how did that feel?
Well, I'm 66, and this happened when I was about 10. So.
Amazing stuff. That really sticks. There's just something about ice cream and good times. Thank you for sharing that memory with us.
You're welcome.
All right, now let me grab your address so I can get this voucher sent your way.
Okay.
Could I ask you one last question?
Sure.
Sherry, why do you listen to this radio station?
Because it makes me feel good.
Thank you so much. That's what we're trying to do. Just make your day a little better every single day. I think maybe we're doing our jobs, huh?
Yep.
Thank you so much. I'll get this sent your way. Have a great day.
You too.
All right. Bye. How cool was that? Riding up to the ice cream shop in a hearse. That was awesome. That made my day. Thank you, Sherry, for calling this morning. And hey, we'll have another chance for you to win some ice cream next Monday. But hey, we've got some more chances to win other stuff this week. Tuesday and Thursday, your chance to win a family 4-pack to Point Mallard Water Park. And then on Wednesday, it's Lake Winnie Wednesday. You know, Lake Winnie, they've got an amusement park and a water park, and you get a family 4-pack to there as well if you call in and win. So we've got just a couple more weeks left of these giveaways, and we've been loving doing this all summer long. It's been a blast helping you make some really good memories with your family this summer. And I know now kids are back in school, but still, you got the weekends. You can still have some fun. All right, back to the music that you love. I got Andrew Ripp with For the Love of God right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Oh, by the way, I'll be airing an interview with Andrew Ripp coming up here on the show. You're not going to want to miss it. So be keeping those eyes and ears peeled to the radio and to our socials because I'll be sharing it in both places. Such a cool guy, and I can't wait for you to hear that interview. And now a quick public service announcement from our friend, fellow Alabamian, social media influencer, content creator extraordinaire, Mr. Matt Mitchell, on the weather.
Just a message from the South to whoever's in charge of those excessive heat warnings we get every day. You can stop now. We're well aware.
Thank you, Matt. Somebody needed to say it. Now your word of life. Today from Romans chapter 8, verse 11, in the New Living Translation of the Bible, the Spirit of God who raised Jesus from the dead lives in, get this, lives in you. And just as God raised Christ Jesus from the dead, he will give life to your mortal bodies by this same Spirit living within you. That is so good. That is worth sharing with somebody. You got to talk about that good news right there. Oh, hey, we've got it ready for you across all of our socials. That's on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok, and it's always at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. Obedience training. It's something you hear about that's out there for, your dog. I mean, you can go and take your dog to have them go through all the training, so when they come back, they'll mind you. But is there obedience training for us humans? If you're a Christian, you already know the answer to that question because obedience, sometimes it's not so easy. It's going to cost us something. But the cool thing about it is it's going to take us somewhere. I got a friend who's going to help us out with that concept coming up next. His name is Brian Trent, and he's always full of just some good points. He's able to bring that scripture alive in ways you never thought about it before. So I want you to stick around and hear it for yourself, okay? So to wind down just before I go to sleep, I like to watch my phone and I'll peruse some social media. Lots of times I'm scrolling through TikTok and I see some things that make me bust out laughing. I mean, they're hilarious. For instance, I saw this video. And if your church uses Planning Center and you're acquainted with any of that, well, that's the way a lot of churches schedule their teams, their volunteers. And there's a place on there for when you're scheduled to hit accept. So then it goes green, and the ministry leader knows that part is covered. So in a band, you got to make sure all the parts are covered. Guitar, bass, drums, keys, singers, all that stuff, right? Sound people, graphics people, all that. Well, the caption was, when nobody has confirmed on Planning Center. And it showed this guy sitting on a stage. He was strumming a guitar, sitting behind a drum set. He was playing drums and guitar and singing at the same time. It was hilarious. And the caption said, "Hey, hold my coffee and watch this." Oh, that got me. And there are other humorous videos all across the socials, but then you get into some that make you go, oh, wow. You know, those light bulb moments. And I love when I come across them. Well, this is one of those moments. Brian Trent. I don't know if you've heard of that guy before. If you've listened to the show for a while, you've heard his voice. I share his content quite regularly. He's from Hampton, South Carolina. He and his family are there, and he pastors Lighthouse Church. He's on TikTok as Trent Tribe. It's him and his family, always bringing amazing content. And he had a little something to say today about obedience. And it's his testimony tied in with scripture that describes obedience in a really cool way. Here, see what you think about this.
So when my wife and I got married 27 years ago, our heart's desire was to put God in the center and be as obedient as we could to Him. Now, we aren't perfect, but we're doing the best we can. We had no idea what obedience was going to cost, and we had no idea where obedience was going to lead us. Because it's going to cost you something, but it's always going to lead you to something as well. But we knew that it was the right thing to do. And here's what we figured out so far, and it might just help you. Obedience can be hard, it's not popular, and it might even hurt at the beginning. See, because 22 years ago, we decided to homeschool, and at the time, it went against popular opinion. We decided to have 6 kids, and it went against popular opinion. 13 years ago, we decided to move to South Carolina to pastor a church, and on paper, it didn't make any sense. But we felt like it was the path God was leading us down. And a few years after being in South Carolina, God opened the door for us to start a business, so we did, and it was hard work, but it's paid off. So what's the point? Obedience leads to God's blessings. Every act of obedience has led us to something greater. And it's also led us to greater opportunities of obedience. Deuteronomy 28 says, all these blessings shall come upon you and overtake you. Boy, isn't that a good problem to have? But hold up, because the scripture says one more thing about that. Because the rest of that scripture says, if you obey the voice of the Lord your God. Whatever you're facing or going through right now, be obedient to His voice. You may not be able to see the end, but He can. And last time I checked, He's the one that's writing the story. So follow the author and see where he takes you.
You can find Brian Trent over on TikTok. Just search Trent Tribe. You'll be glad that you did. Such an inspirational guy, always bringing these scriptures to life. And I love that I can share some of his content right here on the show. Hopefully you'll find him for yourself and check him out. So my daughter Grace, she is in 3rd grade, and this is like her second week there. And we found out that she's going to be having some vocabulary tests on Fridays. So the teacher's sending home a sheet every week that has a few words on there. Now, they're going to be definitions, spelling, and also antonyms and synonyms. You know, those things that are opposite of and similar to that particular word. So I want to do an exercise with you real quick. Okay, so I want you to tell me the antonym, or the thing that does not mean the same as belonging. Think about that for a second. When I thought about it, you know, the opposite of belonging for me is rejection. And if I were to say, okay, come up with a synonym for belonging, I would think, okay, sure. Fitting in. Isn't that the same as belonging? Actually, that couldn't be further from the truth. And I've never thought about it until I saw this comment from Brene Brown. I'm going to share it with you next, and it's going to shed a whole lot of light on this topic of belonging. So we'll get into it right after Cain, and I'm so blessed. Okay, so last we talked, I was talking about this word, belonging, and the antonym, the synonym. I was thinking, you know, the antonym to belong, or the opposite of, would probably be rejection, right? And maybe the same as belonging would be fitting in. Well, come to find out, those two things, belonging and fitting in, are totally opposite things. And I never thought about it this way until I heard Brene Brown talk about it. Here's that clip that I heard. See if it changes your mind about it.
I was so shocked to learn in the research that the opposite of belonging is fitting in. Because fitting in is assessing a group of people and thinking, who do I need to be? What do I need to say? What do I need to wear? How do I need to act? And changing who you are. And true belonging never asks us to change who we are. It demands that we be who we are. If we fit in because how we've changed ourselves, that's not belonging, because you betrayed yourself for other people. And that's not sustainable.
She's right. That's not sustainable. Have you ever found yourself in that situation before, where you changed yourself to fit in with a group and it just wasn't sustainable? You couldn't keep the facade going. It's like, this is not who I am. Yeah. If you want to hear the whole interview with Brene Brown, it's on the School of Greatness podcast, episode 536. I found it over on TikTok under Lewis Howe's profile. Again, it's the School of Greatness podcast, episode 536, if you want to check it out for yourself. And while you're looking at podcasts, I just wanted to remind you that this show will be in podcast form about 15 minutes after we end it today. So at about 10:15, it'll be up on Spotify, also over on our website, and you can check it out. Please, if you enjoy the show and you want to check it out in podcast form, subscribe to us and share us with a friend. We're trying to reach as many people as we can with some really good news. Thank you for that. Oh, love. It's so good, isn't it? It's so sweet. Spending that extra time with that special someone. Yeah, I was talking with my mother-in-law a few days ago, and she told me that her and her husband, Mike, when they were dating, they used to find some fun ways to spend time together. And they were cheap ways, too, because, you see, he was a college student, didn't have a whole lot of money. So I understand that completely. My wife and I met each other in college. So they would go bowling, or they would just go and find a place to just sit and talk for a while. Or they'd go and spend hours playing tennis. It was a lot of fun for them. You know, when you find that special somebody, you've spent all that time with them and you've decided, hey, they are the one I want to spend the rest of my life with. Well, you go out of your way to make that proposal something special. I know for me and my wife, I took her to Big Spring Park in Huntsville and I got down on one knee. Every time we go out to Big Spring Park, we got to stop by that park bench and remember where it all started. But for this couple, it was starting on the beach. There's a little bit of a catch in this get along. You see, after spending the day on the beach, the time had finally come to pop the question, but the ring was nowhere to be found. What happened? You're gonna love it. It's a good ending to this story. Stick around, we'll get into it next, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. This couple from Tennessee, they decided to take a beach trip. And it was on this trip that this gentleman was going to propose to this lady. But you see, while they're on the beach, in Myrtle Beach to be exact, well, they stopped off at different areas along the beach to snap pictures with each other. Different landmarks they wanted to kind of get in the shot. And she had no idea what was going on, that he was thinking about popping the question. And here's the deal. When they got started that day, he put the ring in his pocket. But when it came time to pop the question, he couldn't find the ring. Yeah, it fell out of his pocket in one of those impromptu photo shoots. So he needed some help. That's when the police department there at Myrtle Beach really stepped up. Beach Patrol Officer John Lively was flagged down by this guy who said he had lost that engagement ring in the sand. And then he called in some backup. Yep, some other officers came out, even a K-9 unit, and this K-9's name is Goggles, by the way. They were all searching, trying to make a good ending to this story. But things just weren't working out. There's a lot of sand out there on that beach. Well, that's when it just so happened that a 15-year-old trying out their metal detector for the first time heard about what was happening. His name is Isaiah. He said somebody came over to him and said someone lost a ring over there. So he got his metal detector and he went to searching. And after 45 seconds, he found that ring. He said, I felt like I saved a marriage. Oh, you did, bud. Good job. It's one of those feel-good stories. I just had to share it with you. Sometimes you think the ending's not going to be good, but then there's a twist, and it's so good. Oh, thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. And by the way, she said yes. Yeah. Good story, right? Put a smile on your face. We're just trying to make your day a little bit better. Right here on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better. I know the week is full now because your kids are back at school, but how about the weekends? I bet they're even more full than they were during the summer, right? Because everybody's trying to squeeze stuff in between the school weeks. Like weddings. Been to one of those yet? Yeah, hopefully it's not an outdoor wedding in this heat, but who am I kidding? They still like to have them outdoors, even though you're going to sweat so much. But maybe it's birthday parties. Yeah? Or maybe it's sports. My little girl, Grace, she's doing volleyball now. We just had a couple of scrimmage games on Saturday in Fairview. And it was even hot inside the gym. But those weekends are full. This little girl, she was picked for an amazing role in a wedding. Yeah, the flower girl. Now, this little one can't be over 6 years old, right? She's beautiful. She's got her hair done. She's in her red dress, and she's having a little conversation with Dad, letting him know, Dad, I know what I got to do. Little Miss Independent. Well, this is what she had to say.
You can't call my name when I'm going to be walking down the aisle. No one can call us because we're going to be busy walking down the aisle.
What if I just yell, Princess?
No, because Dad, there's gonna be a bunch of people sitting and then they're just gonna hear us. And they're gonna be like, why are you doing that? And they're not gonna think you're a good daddy.
Those little ones got it all figured out, don't they? Oh my goodness, I just had to brighten your day with that one. That's so cute. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Of all the celebrity impressions out there, there's one that usually stands out for me, and that's Christopher Walken. Just the way that he talks, right? And he plays some crazy roles in different movies and TV shows, but I came across a little something that he filmed, and it really rings true. It's all about friendship. I want you to hear this.
We're born alone. We die alone. And in between, we spend our lives looking for something. Connection. That's all we want. Every once in a while, we might find it in a true friend. Many friendships will come only to fade as quickly as a firework, but some, a rare and precious few, turn life up to 11 and keep it there. You gotta hold on to friends like these because just like air, you'll miss them when they're gone. No one else gets it, but they do, because they know what's in your soul, your heart, your mind. They can blindside you, come out of nowhere, but you'll know them right away. You'll click as perfectly as a jack plug into an amp. There will be good times and epic, adrenaline-filled challenges where it seems there's no way you can make it, but if you trust in one another and commit, you'll find a way, coming through together, closer, stronger. Even so, you, they, the world, in time, everything and everyone changes. Slowly, that boiling energy of young friendship will cool and be replaced by the bonds of a deep, mutual history, complete with the scars that tell the stories of a lifetime well lived. It's as inevitable as ripples altering their size. So don't fight it, go with it. Ride it out. Together.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for me today here on this Lifeline Morning Show. But don't worry, we'll be back again tomorrow from 6 to 10. Your chance to win some Point Mallard Water Park passes as well coming up tomorrow. But I do want to leave you with one final thought, and this is what we started the show off with. I love doing this because I've had 4 hours to kind of marinate on, what we talked about, on the inspiring quote of the day. And let me tell you, it was a really good one today. It's all about the present and the past and the future. Winston Churchill said, if we open a quarrel between past and present, we shall find that we have lost the future. Think about that for a second. If you're stuck in your past, how can you move forward? Don't worry. Your past is done. Nothing you can do about it. But you can enjoy the present and you can move forward. So don't get paralyzed by past mistakes. Know that God's got you and you can move forward with Him. So break those shackles off today and move forward. All right? I'm anxious to see what God does in your life as you keep moving. Thanks for hanging out with me today. See you right back here tomorrow from 6 to 10 for another Lifeline Morning Show. I got a good feeling it's going to be a good day. Here's Austin French to sing about that right here on your 88.5 JFM. Keep it locked in here all day, would you?